The IP Box Regime here in Cyprus. Good morning from beautiful Vienna. We're going to explain once again the IP Box tax regime here in Cyprus as it's becoming increasingly popular and important by all our entrepreneurs and investors. So what you need to know about the Cyprus IP Box is that you can create a Cyprus company which will be taxed only at 2.5%, corporation tax flat, that's it. If you are a non-dom tax resident, if you are an overseas shareholder, your dividends from this company will also be tax-free. So the IP Box tax regime here in Cyprus makes sure that you, the creator, the investor, the shareholder, or your company will not be taxed. They will be taxed marginally, as the IP Box will ensure that you will only be taxed 2.5%. How will you achieve that? Let's see the next steps. Once you make your mind that you want to exploit this tax regime here in Cyprus, you need to inform a qualified audit and assurance firm like our firm, Cyprus Audit Services, who will explain you the steps. And the steps are simply the following. First, your product needs to be created here in Cyprus. In other words, you need to create the IP Box here in Cyprus. So you need to have your Cyprus company, which itself will then create this unique software or this unique application so that users can use either from the internet or by downloading your application. Of course, before we proceed and validate the whole structure, we need to obtain in writing a tax ruling from the Cyprus tax authorities that they agree with us and with you that your product or the service you will be providing to users and which has been created by a Cyprus vehicle is eligible for the IP Box regime. To do that, we need to send a tax ruling to the tax authorities, which will in turn reply to us in writing, mentioning your company and mentioning your company's activities, and of course confirming and validating that your intentions and your activities and the operations of this company indeed fall within the IP tax regime, and as a result they will be taxed only at 2.5%. So in a nutshell, not only your corporation tax will be 2.5%, but also your dividends will be zero if you are a Cyprus tax resident and non-domicile, or if you are an overseas shareholder, again, Cyprus will not tax you, but you need to check with your local accountants whether the receipt of these dividends from the Cyprus entity will be taxed at your country of tax residence. For more information, check the link below. We have lots of videos on the IP Box. We have lots of articles in our website. And of course, feel free to contact us to advise you further. From beautiful Vienna, have a nice day.